The city was a symphony of chaos. Towering skyscrapers pierced the polluted sky. Their neon signs cast an eerie glow on the rain-slicked streets below. This was Neo Mumbai, a sprawling testament to human ambition and greed. The air hummed with the thrum of technology, a constant reminder of the city's iron grip on its citizens. Among the throngs of people, a lone figure moved with an almost predatory grace. Vikky Bhai. His eyes, hardened by years of witnessing unspeakable things, scanned the crowds. They were cold, calculating. He was a predator in the urban jungle. Tonight, he hunted justice. Vikky moved through the labyrinthine alleyways, his footsteps muffled by the ever-present drizzle. He was no stranger to these streets, to the darkness that clung to every corner. He had seen the worst of humanity here, the downtrodden, the desperate, the cruel. He had become a phantom, a whisper spoken in hushed tones. For Vikky Bhai was no ordinary man. He was a whirlwind of fury, a force of nature unleashed upon the wicked. Vikky had not chosen this path. He was once an ordinary man, with dreams and aspirations. But fate, it seemed, had other plans. The brutal murder of his family at the hands of the city's merciless gangs had shattered his life, leaving him with nothing but a thirst for vengeance. He had honed his body and mind into weapons, mastering ancient martial arts and modern combat techniques. He became a shadow, a wraith that haunted the nightmares of the guilty. His name, once whispered in fear, now carried a glimmer of hope for the oppressed. Word spread like wildfire through the underbelly of Neo Mumbai. A protector had emerged from the darkness, a symbol of defiance against the tyranny that had gripped the city. They called him Vikky Bhai, the savior of the streets. Stories of his exploits echoed through the crowded marketplaces and dimly lit tea stalls. Tales of impossible feats of strength and lightning-fast reflexes. He was a beacon in the darkness, a testament to the indomitable spirit of humanity. Tonight, Vikky's prey was a notorious crime lord known only as the Serpent. His grip on Neo Mumbai's underworld was absolute, his reach extending to the highest echelons of power. The Serpent's reign had brought nothing but suffering and despair to the city. Vikky infiltrated the Serpent's opulent penthouse, a stark contrast to the squalor that plagued the streets below. He moved like a phantom, his senses heightened, every nerve ending tingling with anticipation. He was a hunter, stalking his prey. He could feel the Serpent's presence, a palpable aura of malice that hung heavy in the air. Their eyes met across the room, a silent clash of wills. The battle had begun.
You think you can stop me, Vikky Bhai? You are just a thorn in my side, nothing more.
The Serpent lunged, his movements surprisingly swift for a man of his size. Vikky countered with effortless grace, his fists a blur of motion. The air crackled with the sound of their blows, each strike carrying the force of a thunderbolt. As they fought, Vikky saw a flicker of something unexpected in the Serpent's eyes. It was not fear, but a deep-seated pain, a reflection of his own inner turmoil. It was then that Vikky realized that even the most hardened criminals were once human, shaped by the cruel hand of fate. The Serpent's backstory unfolded in a series of flashbacks. He had been a young boy, orphaned and left to fend for himself on the unforgiving streets. He had clawed his way to the top, his heart hardening with each betrayal, each act of violence. Vikky saw a twisted reflection of himself in the Serpent's journey. Both were products of their environment, driven by pain and a thirst for justice. But while Vikky had chosen the path of a protector, the Serpent had become the very thing he swore to destroy.
You and I, Vikky Bhai, we are not so different. We are both born of the same darkness.
Their fight continued, a brutal ballet of violence. But for Vikky, the thrill of the hunt had faded, replaced by a profound sense of sadness. He saw the lost boy within the monster, a victim of circumstance. Despite his solitary nature, Vikky was not alone in his fight. Over time, he had attracted a ragtag group of allies, each with their own unique skills and motivations. They brought moments of levity to his grim existence, reminding him that even in the face of darkness, there was still hope. Together we were a force to be reckoned with, our combined skills complementing Vikky's own. Narrator, Media Group, Cyberpunk female doctor tending to patients in a dark clinic, Cyberpunk street doctor helping the injured at stock, @distribute_equally. And finally, there was Shanti, a street doctor with a heart of gold. She tended to the wounded and the forgotten, offering a glimmer of hope in the darkest corners of the city. S3, Media Group, Cyberpunk soldier with a haunted expression, Cyberpunk veteran strategizing in a neon-lit room at stock @distribute_equally. And then there was me, Arun, a former soldier haunted by the horrors of war. My skills as a strategist and tactician were invaluable in Vikky's fight against injustice. Narrator, Media Group, Cyberpunk strategist planning in a futuristic setting, Cyberpunk tactician with a determined look at stock @distribute_equally. There was Rani, a brilliant hacker with a sarcastic wit and a talent for bending technology to her will. She was Vicky's eyes and ears in the digital world, a master of information warfare. S2. Media Group, Cyberpunk Information Warfare, Cyberpunk hacker controlling digital world at distribute_equally. We were drawn to his cause, united by a shared desire for a better future. As Vicky delved deeper into his quest to bring peace to Neo Mumbai, he began to uncover a conspiracy that reached far beyond the city's underbelly. A shadowy organization, known only as the Syndicate, was pulling the strings, manipulating events from the shadows. The Syndicate's influence was pervasive, their tendrils reaching into every facet of society. They controlled the flow of information, the black markets, even the city's law enforcement. They were the true power behind the throne, and Vicky had become a thorn in their side. Doubt began to creep into Vicky's mind. Was he truly making a difference? Or was he merely a pawn in a much larger game, one that he could never hope to win? The weight of the city's suffering pressed down on him, threatening to crush his spirit. But even in the face of overwhelming odds, Vicky refused to give up hope. He had come too far, sacrificed too much, to let the darkness win. He would fight on for the sake of the innocent, for the future of Neo Mumbai. The final confrontation took place on the rooftop of the city's highest skyscraper, a storm raging around them, mirroring the battle that raged within Vicky's soul. He stood face to face with the Serpent, the puppet master behind him revealed to be a high-ranking member of the Syndicate. The battle was brutal, a whirlwind of fists and fury. Both combatants fought with the desperation of men who knew that their lives hung in the balance. The fate of Neo Mumbai rested on the outcome of this clash.
You think you can defeat me, Vicky? You're just a pawn in a game you can't even begin to understand.
Vicky fought with the ferocity of a cornered animal, his every move honed to perfection. But the Serpent was a formidable opponent, fueled by years of bitterness and resentment. He had anticipated Vicky's every move, countering his attacks with ease. As the battle reached its climax, Vicky found himself on the back foot, the Serpent's blows raining down on him with relentless force. Just when it seemed like all hope was lost, Vicky remembered the faces of the people he had sworn to protect. He drew strength from their plight, their faith in him. With renewed determination, Vicky rallied, his attacks becoming more precise, more deadly. He fought with the fury of a man possessed, pushing the Serpent to his limits. The tide of the battle had turned.
This can't be happening!
In a final, desperate move, the Serpent lunged at Vicky, his eyes filled with hatred and despair. Vicky sidestepped, his fist connecting with the Serpent's jaw with bone-crunching force. The Serpent crumpled to the ground, defeated. As the Serpent lay there, gasping for breath, Vicky saw a flicker of regret in his eyes. It was a fleeting moment, but it was enough to convince Vicky that even the most hardened criminals were capable of redemption. With the Serpent defeated, the Syndicate's grip on Neo Mumbai began to weaken. Their network of corruption crumbled, their hold on the city shattered. The people, emboldened by Vicky's victory, rose up to reclaim their city. Despite his victory, Vicky knew that his fight was far from over. The seeds of corruption ran deep in Neo Mumbai, and there would always be those who sought to exploit the weak and the vulnerable. But he also knew that he was no longer alone. He had his allies, his team of misfits who shared his vision for a better future. And he had the support of the people, who now looked to him with hope instead of fear. As the sun rose over the horizon, casting its golden rays on the city below, Vicky allowed himself a moment of peace. It was a new dawn for Neo Mumbai, a chance for a fresh start. He had won this battle, but the war for the city's soul raged on, and Vicky Bhai would be there, standing on the front lines, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The fight continues.